Good morning, happy Friday, and welcome to Irreverent Knits. I am Tracy, owner of Low Country Shrimp and Knits, and with me is Judy, owner of Maggie Loves Yarn, and we survived another week.
You survived the race.
I survived the race. I had a half marathon last Saturday, and it just about killed me. I mean, they had to resuscitate me from death like Tuesday. So,
well, the weather was just...
It was horrible. So it literally poured. We had to get up 8 a.m., which is no big deal. It's typical for a race, 8 a.m. start. But it was pouring rain, and it was so windy. Part of this race was over a bridge in Hilton Head on the island, and then you have to come back over it, and it was so windy. Literally, we were bent over trying not to get blown over as hats were getting blown into the ocean, and I mean the wind and everything's coming down in your face. It was like Forrest Gump and Captain Dan all at the same time. So it's like, oh my God, I just gotta get through this. I'm never gonna make it. I made it, but my hip decided that, hey, what were you thinking? You're old, and we're now gonna take a week to recover. So I was in a walker for a couple of days.
So hell was breaking loose with her. I'm running the shop. All hell is breaking loose here because of all her Shopify problems. I couldn't get into Shopify to ring anything up, and then we have a whole class going on. And I went, well, this is just Ravelry.
Well, and I'm running, and I'm like, I got like 3 miles left. I'm like, all right, here we go. We got 3 miles left. This is okay. So I'm trying to step it up a little bit. You know, you save a little bit of juice for the end, and I'm trying to step it up, and then my music gets cut in. You have a phone call from Judy Kirby.
I didn't know you were. Yeah. I just figured you'd finish the race and look and see that I had called.
And I'm like, oh God, I can't answer this call right now.
Judy
Kirby. Judy Kirby.
I didn't know.
Judy Kirby. Would you like me to answer? No.
I didn't realize that. I figured you'd finish the race. Troy would hand you your phone and you'd go, oh, I better call.
No, I have my phone with me because it's got music and it tracks my miles.
I'd done that. I would have done that. I would have sent subliminal messages. Judy Kirby says, step it up.
Why
Judy
are you going
Kirby
so slow?
Says, pick up the pace. Judy Kirby says, yes, your butt does look big in those tights, though.
Your ass is assing. Go. Go.
Yeah, I would have sent motivational messages.
Well, then I got a call from you, and then my dad calls, I guess to find out where everybody is. I'm like, what? Like, hey, Dad, I'm in the middle of a race. I'm on mile 11.
So next race, you guys remind me, send messages, because that's funny as hell.
Yep. So that was Judy Kirby says, what the hell? Answer your phone, bitch.
It's like, it won't let me on. I have 6 people in here.
Oh my God. Well, and then the people came in, and that was a whole story in and of itself. And they couldn't get the ball winder, and everybody wanted Hanks, and so they have this class going, and the ball winder's not doing what it's supposed to.
Well, you know what I did? And they laughed. Because they were all talking about they joined up to play bocce.
Yeah.
And I went, we're going to make bocce balls. Here, start winding these. And they did. They looked cute. They had little different colored bocce balls all over the table.
Perfect.
And I made I started about a half hour late.
Yeah, well, you know.
If you take a class and you sign up for a class and the class starts at 1, that means instruction starts at 1.
Right.
It doesn't mean wander in at 1 and go, I don't know what color I want to use.
Or what's the weight?
Would this be okay?
Right.
Oh, you have to wind 8 of them? Because then class starts at 1:45, and you've missed 45 minutes of instruction.
Because we done it too.
Because,
so.
I may say your class is from 1 to 3, and I have to be somewhere at 3:15.
Yeah.
I can't.
She is a woman with a plan. So.
Well, when I taught high school. When the bell rang, we started, and the kids knew it. If we had time at the end of the class, then it was time for help and everything. Because with college prep, I had a lot to get through.
Right.
And it was like, you better be in your seat, the butt better be open, because when the bell rings, I start.
Well, I do the same thing. I teach at the college level, and I start exactly on time. And then if we have time at the end, I say, if you need extra support, you can stay on. Otherwise, I'm going to give you this time back, and you can use it to take the quiz or...
I did it when I was president of the So What Club, because they always wander in. They start 20 minutes late. I went, it's 1 o'clock, we're starting. Let's call this meeting to order. And they all looked at me, and I went, we start at that one.
Right.
And they went, okay, we like this.
Yeah,
So
it's at
it
the
worked
time.
out well.
Yeah, that's how we start. We start right on time here. So anyway, but so the good news is we did survive. You survived. We got because all the Shopify craziness. I ended up upgrading, and I have a new website now.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
It's
You gotta
coming
go
together.
check it out. And I can get on now.
It's
so.
coming together. So if you go to shrimpandknits, all spelled out, .com, you can check it out. Now, is it perfect? No, definitely not. But am I IT savvy enough to make it perfect? Still no. No, definitely not. But it's out there. So
ask yourself, are we perfect?
Yes.
But no.
so we got that. Check that out. Let me know what you think. And if there's spelling errors, definitely let me know, because I will not stand for that crap.
We will grade it.
Yes, it's fine. I'm a grammar crazy person. So if you see something, please, if you
I'm
see something,
retired.
say something, because I need. Yeah,
I'm
you're
retired.
retired, but I'm still a grammar teacher. So the other exciting thing in the world is it is now getting warm here in South Carolina. So it was what, 80 yesterday?
It was 80 yesterday.
80.
58 tomorrow.
Okay,
So
well,
go
we're not
figure.
talking about that. But anyway, this also means it's alligator season. It's alligator season coming
Alligator
up.
love starting up.
Alligator season. So the
Never lived
alligators.
till you see alligator love down here.
So
I filmed it. I stood in my backyard and filmed it at the lagoon.
well, they make the weirdest sounds. What did you say? They sound like cows.
They sound like cows.
That's-
They do. They sound like cows. It's kind of like, ooh.
So, but what they do is, of course, they go out looking for love, and they're hitting all the singles bars along the way. And so when we first moved here, my neighbor called me and he goes, "Hey, just a heads up, there's an alligator that's walking across." And we live on a big golf course. They're everywhere. I mean, you see them. You just
If you have water in the south, you'll have a gator.
so all
It's
different
just a
sizes.
given.
It's
Yeah,
just a given.
everybody's always like, we need to get rid of the gators.
You can't get rid of the
Yeah,
gators.
where?
And when you
Where?
just move them here, they move back.
Is there a home for gators somewhere you send them?
You send them to Florida, like everybody else. You just go to Florida, keep going. But so and I just love the gators. Like you have a
I
healthy
find them
respect.
fascinating.
I love them. I mean, there's this one when we first drive into our development. There's always this one there, and I'm like, oh, he's so cute. I
Has
love
he
him
big?
so
Did you
much.
name him?
He moved, so I didn't name him
Because
yet.
we have Kevin.
Yeah.
And then we have a huge one that's the entrance into our neighborhood, and we call him Suitcase.
Okay, suitcases.
And then my friend Deb, who lives on Argent, has a huge one as you pull into Argent, and we call him Sergeant Argent.
That also, we'll have to come up with an alligator name. But we
gotta name him.
We gotta name him. So this guy normally is there, and he's a big boy. Well, so my next door neighbor Bob was like, "Hey, just a heads up, the gator's coming, kind of down the backyard." And I'm like, "All right." And again, I love these things. You have a healthy respect for them. They don't want anything to do with you, but you stay away from them. But they're cool to look at.
And you don't let your chihuahua out
And now,
off a leash.
no. So I was like, "All
You
right,
don't
I'm gonna
walk down by the pond.
I'm gonna go in the back and just kind of see what's going on." Well, and here I am thinking, I'm like, just gonna be kind of near, but not that close, no. Well, I don't know what on earth snapped in my brain, but literally I see this thing, and it was about 14 feet. It was coming down the path. I'm like, "Oh my God, we're all gonna die!" And so I start running back in the house. I lock the door.
They move really
They can move.
fast.
My husband's on the
I
phone.
have it on film.
Oh, my husband's on the phone, and I don't scream. I don't freak out. I'm not a girly like girl. And he's like, "What the hell happened?" And I'm like, he's on the phone at work, and they hear me freaking out. I'm like, because it was walking right through
Oh, they
our yard, and it was huge. Literally, like there was a golf cart that was going on the cart path, and it stopped and just backed up because you don't want to go near it. So the good news is, I don't want to spoiler alert here. We didn't die. So that was good.
We were going to my neighbor's one night because she'd been ill and we were taking care of her and stuff, and so she lives in Riverbend, so we had the car, and it was an evening, and I said, "Let's just take Tina and Richie supper," and he said, "Okay." So there's a median right here, a little grassy median in the road. There's a baby alligator about this big asleep in the middle of the road. Gordon gets out. And
He got tired.
And Tina and Richie had both been sick and had to do multiple runs to the emergency room. I went, "I am not going back to that emergency room. I am not." And I should
Was
have
he gonna
filmed
move it? Was he gonna?
He gets out the golf umbrella.
Oh
And
no!
he's poking it to try and get it up, and it's like, so our umbrella has a little teeth hole all over it. And it's so funny, because he gets it up on there, and he turns to go put it in, and I watch. The second he turns his back, the little alligator gets down, and he just looks like, I am gonna go tell
You are
my
so
mom.
in trouble.
And he just goes off like, I'm gonna go tell my mom. It was hysterical. Absolutely hysterical. But he's in Gordon the alligator fight. Get up there.
Well, you know what? The thing is, too, is people, I think people lose their minds at times because when we first were moving down here, it was very fascinating. This whole alligator thing was very new to me. Even, in California, we didn't have this. I mean, this was very new. And so I was like, well, how do they come into your yard? Like, do they eat your dogs? Like, I had all these questions.
Ring the doorbell?
Yeah. Do they unlock it do they pick the lock with their claw? Like, how are we doing here? And so he goes, well, you don't want to get near. I said, well, I recognize that. Like, I have a healthy respect for animals and wild animals. And he goes, yeah, well, one time I was selling a house and there was a group of people, tourists, sitting around in a circle. And there was one in the middle, an alligator in the middle, and they were feeding it marshmallows. I'm like,
that is the worst thing to do.
I'm like, what?
A fed alligator
is a dead alligator. Yeah.
Because they don't associate it with people.
Right. People in food. Like, hey, we'll operate conditioning.
So bad in our community.
B.F. Skinner, man. He was.
There's Grandpa with the kid down visiting, the grandchild visiting for spring break.
Right.
Feeding it. Oh, we get furious.
Oh, well, you should. Yeah,
that alligator has to be put down.
Right. No, you can't do that. But anyway, so yeah, people are insane. And God love them because they make good headlines. Yeah. So anyway, it is alligator season, so we'll try if we can record any.
I've got it. It's called alligator porn.
So you're gonna send it. We'll have to post
alligator
it.
Porn.
We'll have to post it on our webpage, so it'll be on our next blog. Not safe for
Something
work.
to do.
Not safe for work.
When you're retired,
This is what you do. You knit and you watch alligator porn. I guess I've that to look forward to. It turns out
the wildlife down here is just fascinating.
I love it.
I do
love
too.
it. It's great. I have pictures of. And my husband's like, "Why do we need a picture of that?" I'm like, "Because it's this."
Where else do you see
a
stuff?
gazillipede? Like it's these. We have these millipedes that are like this long. I
hate
love them.
those.
Oh, and I love them. We pick them up. They're gazillipedes.
They roll up into the circle.
Yeah, they're not. But they're not really poly-olies. They're like really big gazillipedes. I love them. I love the cute little things. All right, so we do have some new fun yarn to talk about now. Before I get into this, I've gotten a few new things, and I've got some exciting news coming up. But my husband said, he looked around the shop, he goes, I think you have enough yarn. And I'm pretty
For
sure
what?
that's French for we're now going to get into a fight. I was like, what? Enough yarn? For what? So, just means I have to
Yes, that's right, honey. Van Gogh only painted with one color.
I don't have enough
He
yarn.
only
You
had
can never
one tube of paint.
have enough yarn. So I got these 4 fun, sparkly, very ethereal. It's very soft. I know about the soft, but Wonderland yarns. Check this out. This is called their Unicorn, and it's got a bit of sparkle. I know you can't really. I'm trying to get the light to kind of hit it, but it's got
stellina.
Yes, it's got a little bit of sparkle in it. So much fun. This would make a really cute cowl or like a shawl that's very open and kind of ethereal. This one's got a little bit of kind of like a purpley. Oh, you're okay. Ralphie's back. He was with me all week because I couldn't walk him and push a walker around.
I'm gonna lock the door because he's standing up.
So here is this one, Wonderland yarn, and the last one. This one's really fun. It's kind of gray, and it's got little flecks of kind of like a burgundy color in there. So
That's my favorite. That
one is really pretty. And I think this one, in hindsight, if we had gotten it in sooner, this would have been really good for your tunic that you are making. And we'll get an update on that in just a minute. But the other 4 colors we got in, and none of them come together, but they'll be fun for individual scarves or hats. This is Harriet Great, and so it is really big and fluffy. So this
Harriet the Great.
Harriet the Great. So pink, and we've got this burgundy. We've already sold almost out of the burgundy color, so that went really quickly. And then this just kind of this blue, nice pop of color. So we have those coming in, and we've just been accepted to sell Manos de Uruguay. Yay!
We've only been nagging and stalking them for 6 months?
I don't know, but I had to use Spanish. I almost had to have Judy flash her boobs at the entire country. We were willing.
I will do it. I'll take one for the team.
I appreciate the sacrifices you
I'll
were
take one
willing.
for the team.
You were willing to make for my shop. I appreciate that. So yes, but the good news is Judy was able to keep her clothes on, and we still get to sell it. So we're going to start to poke around today.
I think they said, you know what?
We're
Just
sick of hearing from
shut
these
her
people.
up.
My
Just let her have
God,
some yarn.
she keeps throwing Spanish at us too. Like, whatever, girl, whatever. So that's coming up. So we got to go shopping today. So,
I love spending her money. I just love it.
We're good at it. We are very
I'm
good
good
at
at
it.
when other people come in too. I'm good at spending their money.
I know, and
think
I
we need
appreciate
this.
that. I
We need
appreciate.
this.
Yeah, you know what? Let's add this to this. Have you thought about this?
That was a trick I learned when I worked at Archivist and in any retail. You always say at the end, especially with scrapbooking, do you have everything you need? You got plenty of tape. You got, so you got your needles.
Right.
You just keep adding
Got
it
your
on.
Eucalyptus, you got-
No, I don't. It's like.
I know she's good at that.
So I'm sorry.
She's
now
good
you
at
know.
that. And I'm terrible because I'm like,
Now you know my
I hate
secret
being
when
pushy.
you come in. Now you just ask me, do you have anything else you need? Because we have a lot of people that are traveling.
Yeah.
And they come in and they go, oh, that's so cute. I want to start that. And that's a great place to say, so do you have the right needles with you? So,
Yeah.
oh, thank you. That way I don't have to cover up my bathing suit and come back in. I can, just start right on the
We got
beach.
it right out of the way. Well, we had the sweet woman from Minnesota come in yesterday.
Oh,
she was
so
93.
sweet.
93.
Are you kidding me?
93.
She looked like she was 40.
I know, she was
45.
she was beautiful, but she was really sweet, and she didn't bring any of her stuff, and she's here till the end of March. So we were like, girl, you need some projects. So got her hooked up.
She got started.
She's got her projects ready to go. So that's a good thing. We have fun projects starting today, and it's supposed to be kind of rainy, so it's the perfect weather to start. We're kicking off this class today. This is the Little Dreams sweater. It is so cute. Look at this. So we still
We're
have
going to learn the little dirty birdie feet
the
today.
Little Dirty Birdie feet, which are these. They actually have a real name, but we prefer this one.
Little starbursts.
Oh, Little Dirty Birdie feet.
But I think I do them wrong.
Yeah,
and
whatever.
they come out little dirty birdie feet.
Yeah, I
but
like
it is
them.
cute.
I like them better. But anyway,
It's a great way if you want to dip into color work.
yeah, because it's just a little bit, that you're carrying around.
Very little.
I'm sorry,
That's fine.
can't really see it, but yep. So we still have, I think, 2 spots left. If you are interested in this class, it starts at 1 o'clock. So buzz on down here.
Come in at 12:30 to get
Pick
your
your yarn out so I can wind it. So the winder is not actually broken. These fools just didn't have it the right way.
I didn't. No, I had it the right way, but it was catching, and it's like I'm not messing with it.
Yeah. So anyway, that's kicking off in just a few minutes. And I did finally get, I don't know if I mentioned it, we finally got talc, that white color, back in. It was on back order. And so things are still crazy in Peru, and there's so much, unrest that's going on there, and it's really screwing up shipments and orders and things that are coming from that area. And we do get a lot of yarn from Peru. Obviously, a lot of the alpaca comes from that area. There's a lot of blends that come from that area.
So Peru, get your act together.
Right? Could you hurry up? Because
Get your act together.
yeah, I mean, this whole unrest
Don't
thing is
make us knitters come down there.
right. We have sharp things, okay, and we're not afraid to use
Favorite
them.
thing to say, don't make me come down there.
So we do have that going on. As far as I know, I've been dealing with the fiber company, and someone put an order in for this one color, and I still don't have it, and I'm like, what?
Oh, I know.
I'm like, what is going on? So I'm hoping that we can kind of get this settled.
Yeah, because we love you, fiber.
I know.
We love
I
you.
love working with them. Absolutely love working with them, and I love their yarn. So I'm hoping they can kind of figure it all out.
And their website is great. They put out the best patterns.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, they have a
Love
lot
'em.
of they have a lot of fun stuff. I'm just gonna wave. Hello, Paula. So anyway, here's where we stand. I have finally. I don't want to put pressed flowers in timeout, but with that frogging, kind of just was over it when I had to frog.
Well, I know. So let it rest.
I just was over
I'm
it.
still one sleeve short of Flaming June. So that sounds like one boat short of a parade. One sleeve short of a parade. She's one sleeve short of a Flaming June. I'm gonna have to start saying that.
That's you. She's just one sleeve short. It's not her fault. It's not her
I'm
fault.
just one sleeve short.
So I've just gone and stolen Judy's. So she was able to find it for me. And here is her beautiful, beautiful pressed flowers. And she dyed all the yarn herself. So if this is something we could do a special order for you, if you wanted to come do this, we need plenty of time because Judy sleeps from, I think, 3:35 to 4:16.
I slept from 11 to 6:30 this morning. Did last night.
Wow, that's
Read. I'm reading the best book.
What are you reading?
Finding Dorothy. And it's about her name is Maud Baum, and she married Frank Baum, who wrote
Oh, Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of it is actual fiction or truth on it, but
Sure.
she comes to Hollywood when they're making the movie, and for some reason she feels she's got to protect Judy Garland. And so it's really interesting because it goes back and forth with her life and how she found him and married him. And her mom was one of like the first ever original suffragettes.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
So it's good.
Well, that whole thing
Liz
was
had
very.
read it and dropped it off for me, and it's like I can't put it down. It's really good.
That's always a good thing. Yeah, I haven't. Reading is my absolute favorite thing to do. And I just can't fit it into my life right now.
I do it at bedtime.
I can't because I get too into the books and then I can't go to sleep.
Well, I do because I start falling. The book starts hitting me in the head because I fall asleep.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing was when I had my Kindle because I'd be laying on my side and I'd fall asleep and I didn't know.
What page were you on?
Yeah, my thumb would be on it. And everything.
You finished that book in record time. Congratulations.
Where was I?
Yeah. Now I can't. That's the whole thing. It's the only
Yeah, this is really
challenge.
Good. I'm really enjoying this.
Yeah, that's the challenge with having the shop is like my free time, either is here or marketing, and then because I was running the marathon, then that took up any of my extra free time, and so something gets sacrificed.
When you get big and you're able to hire people to work.
That's right. That's right. Someday I'll just be like, you read this book for me.
When I didn't do that.
Chop. Read this book for me.
Court peasant. Read the book.
Tell me what it's on. Highlights, please. But I have had a little bit of chance. So I have been bad. I haven't done one single thing. After I frogged it and just did the one across, because the one across literally is an hour each way. And so,
well, you notice I didn't do the big wide border.
No,
I did 2.5 and went. I am done.
Yeah, I don't even think
how
I'm gonna.
Nice that looks at 2.5.
It looks gorgeous. I think I'm gonna do about that to maybe like an inch and a half, and then be like, yeah, we're good.
I did 2.5 repeats. That's all I did.
Yeah.
So that's only taking you a long time to do it.
Right.
Twice.
Yeah. So that's well, I have to get back onto that. So I pushed the class off a little bit because I'm like, I haven't finished it yet. So let's just move it along.
But you're working on timber.
So I got timber going. So I finally found 5 spare minutes because the problem is I got to, my cords are stuck. I got to about here, and then I needed to do all my separation to get the sleeves going. And that's so much counting and making sure everything's right, and then putting this aside, and then picking this up, and then adding this over here, that I needed to do it in a place where, oh no.
Put it down, don't hold it up. We'll fix it later.
So
you just pulled that all out.
Yep, I did.
Give me a needle.
Stuck under the hook.
Oh, you haven't lost that many.
Okay. So, the thing just took up my cord. But, goodness. So,
we have an emergency.
Yeah.
Emergency.
Yeah. Woo. So I was able to pick it up finally, and then the rest of it's just kind of paying attention. So the most challenging part, which it isn't, so this is a great thing to use in front of the TV, is when you're on the knit side, then you just have to, in certain sections, you have to do the twisted rib. So that's where you do the twisted rib is, when you knit the twisted rib side, and then when you purl, you're purling, you twist that one. So that is
I got it.
good. Oh, God, love you. Thank you. So anyway.
You didn't tie these off.
I did, but, bag and backpack and back and forth and,
Okay.
that's whatever excuses we
I'm
can
just
come
going
up
to
with.
do it while she's talking.
Thank you, honey. So I am getting on timber. This is just it's a great pattern. It's just nice and easy. It's nice and clean.
I've made it twice. I
Yeah,
love it.
it's a real straightforward. It's written well. There's nothing that I've been like, what is this? And that happens. I mean, that definitely happens. So last night we had a woman that has been taking a class with Judy here with color work, and she's a terrific knitter, and she still was reading a pattern and struggling with it. So, if there's something out there that you're like, why is this not making sense? It's maybe not you. It might be the pattern. And even, you guys were talking about that with that pattern was she finally had to go, I think it's just short rows, right? Is that what you and Robin were talking about last night when she was like, I don't understand what's going on here?
Oh, she was doing the short rows shaping in the back of the neck, and she was using the Norwegian book,
Yep.
Knitting the Norwegian Way, and it's a really, if you've never done short rows, German short rows, and she's only done them with heels, so
Right.
she wasn't sure. It's a very, I think, overly explained.
Right.
This is how you do it. And the first time I read it was like, and finally I went, she's talking about short rows.
You're like,
Okay.
what is she
And then
saying?
she's saying, you do this and you do this. And then finally I kept reading it. And finally it dawned on me, you do it at either end.
Yeah.
And so I figured it out. I kind of figured it out on my own, and I told Robin to do it that way.
Right.
So that's the way she did it, and it worked out fine. That one was not as bad because on that yoked sweater, my Linnea, the green and white one, it does have you start at the right shoulder. So you're doing all the way across the back.
That's the Nordic knitting primer. If you haven't seen the book, it's
yes,
gorgeous.
thank you.
Just
Nordic
gorgeous.
knitting primer.
Yep.
Oh my God. And so the other books I have, like Kalevala and the Islington sweater, and more of them do not.
Okay.
They have you start the beginning of the round in the middle of your back.
Well, that's one of the ones that I have. The sweater that I was working on, the puffy sleeves with the Ciro, and that's what. So it's takes a while in the beginning. I'm like, what? Oh my God, this is taking forever.
Well, and what I found with that is it really is better rather than using two circulars to use one.
Okay.
Because they have you where you have the beginning of the round here, the beginning of the round is the middle of the back.
Okay.
So when you start to do short rows, instead of going all the way across the back and all the way down, you go so many this way and so many this way because your middle and your back is here,
right,
and here's the beginning of the row.
Gotcha.
So if you try to do it and divide it in half, and that's what she was trying to have trouble with last night because that one does have you start at the shoulder.
Gotcha.
So I had her divide them last night to
I
make
think
it easier
it was
for her.
my ranunculus.
Does that make sense? That was clear as mud, wasn't
Clear as mud. It's like ranunculus to me. Like I think that's what was going on, but I couldn't get the neck over my head. So it was ranunculus, but for Barbies. So it's my albatross. It's my ranunculus. But I do think that's what was going on too.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out where she was and arranging the stitches right.
And sometimes too, if you have a pattern that you're working with and it's just not making sense to you for whatever reason, like sometimes it's written fine and you just can't wrap your brain around it. A lot of times you can reach out to the designer and they will communicate with you directly.
Especially on Ravelry.
Yeah. So I had one situation. It wasn't with the pattern, but I just couldn't download it again. I know I had purchased it and it was for the perfect tee. And I reached out to the designer and she got right back in touch with me. She was super professional, really great, helpful. And I was able to figure it out with 2 seconds. So instead of sitting there struggling, try that first. Try to reach directly to, especially in Ravelry, they've got links to, almost everything out there. And ask. And there's a lot of people that can help you. And, YouTube is great, but sometimes it's not. And sometimes you're like, I don't even know what this is, with YouTube. So sometimes an actual person is helpful too, And then if not, ask Judy because she knows how to do it.
I know everything.
Yes, Judy knows everything. I'm like, I don't know. Did you ask Judy? Because
and if I don't know it, I just make it up.
she's good like that. We believe her. You say it with enough confidence.
I do.
And people believe you.
I do, yeah.
So what's going on with your? I know you've started your tunic. How is that going?
I did. It's going good. It's really, really pretty, but it's it's that chevron.
Mm-hmm.
So 272 stitches. I get them on, and I do the first round, and I'm thinking, I think shorter needles would work. So I went to kind of move stuff, and I snapped the needle in half, and I was like,
She's like,
oh my God, I'm gonna lose these stitches. And it's lace, and I hate working with lace. And it's lace.
Oh God.
272 stitches. I saved them. I saved every single one. I don't know how. And was able to get them on, and then get the shorter needles on and on. It's like, I have never broken a needle like that. Just snapped it right in half.
See, I have, but I've never not like that. It must have just been a weird flaw because I've done it.
It must have been a weekend, or something. I did it just right.
I've done it a bunch of times when I'm doing something small. So if I'm trying to decrease on a hat or something at the top, and I'm like, shove it in there, and
Gretchen sat on hers and broke one once. I cracked up. But it was a little size one. I don't know.
Great.
I've heard of people who get them in their knees and everything.
Oh,
else.
I'm sure. I mean, I've sat on things on the couch that I can imagine that, if the dog didn't get it first, then it would have ended up in a pointy.
Who was it that came in and needed new needles because their dog?
Oh, I had one of my new knitters. She had taken my class on beginning knitting, and she came and she goes, "Puppy got this." I'm like, well, it's wood, and
Yep, they're teething.
All right, so I know we
Maggie
can't.
loves yarn.
We can't see yours because I don't dare have you bring it in and then have
No,
something.
I don't want to because it's lace that goes into mohair.
No.
And we had this discussion too, because it said instead of doing the 3 needle bind off, use the Russian grafting. And so I looked it up, and it is really cool. I mean, I'll have to show you how to do it.
But with something that open and would you even know that? You know what I mean? Like, would you even know that this is a special?
Right, because it makes like a crisscross.
Yeah.
It's really pretty.
Yeah.
But I have a sneaky way of doing 3-needle bind off on a shoulder that's nearly invisible.
Okay.
So I thought, well, maybe I'll learn this, just to do it the way the pattern says. But it takes a crochet hook to do it.
Okay.
And my tension on crochet is not that good because
Yeah.
I don't want to pull it tight.
Right.
Because on mohair, you're going to see it.
Right.
And so it's like, and then neither do you want it loose and all blue.
The pattern is,
blue.
It's a technical term. Don't get bogged down by it, though.
So we had that talk last night, and I said, because she goes, "Are you going to teach it?" And I said, "No, I don't. I have to practice it a little bit, but I don't think I'm going to use it."
Do you think you'd want to teach the tunic as a class?
Sure.
Because we haven't done anything with like super fine, like a mohair type
Yeah,
of thing.
if it comes out good, and even if it doesn't, I mean, we can still
we can try
display
that.
it and say.
Well, yes.
I mean, it's going to look good. It may not look good on me, but it's going to look good.
It's going to be.
It's looking really good.
The knitting is going to be.
It's really, the only thing is I'm down to where I have the last 8 of the chevron, and then I do this. But I think I want to make it longer.
Okay.
Because if I don't, it's going to hit me here.
It's
which
going to
is
cut you
fine,
off. It'll cut you off, though.
Because then it's going to make my skirt
Yeah, it's
go.
going to, yeah.
So I want it down here. So I
Yeah.
really think I want
Add
to
a
do this.
couple
And
more.
I have enough yarn. I think I want to do it to about here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to hold this later, and you're going to measure it now.
Okay.
See
measure
how
unit.
much
Let's
that
see.
is.
So 7 inches.
Yeah, I think it's 7, 8, and then I'll start the mohair
Yeah.
back and forth.
Well, that'll be
I
good.
have plenty, and I think it'll be so pretty.
Yeah, well, I
And
can't-
It's like,
I can't wait
it's
to
like
see
a
it.
dusty blue that goes into a little bit of a darker blue that goes into like a sand dune.
Oh, I
that
can't wait
goes
to
into
see
a
it.
creek.
It's going to be beautiful.
It's going to be pretty.
It's going to be beautiful. So yeah, I'd like to do something in here with the aerial, just because the mohair is so pretty, but you have to be patient, and you have to be able to see.
Well, see,
So
and
that's part of my
and that's
problem.
why when you get to the mohair, it's just straight knitting,
Yeah.
which is no problem. But you go from size 4, and then you jump to 7s,
Oh.
and then you jump to 8s, and then you
See-
jump to 9s, because that makes that real
Yeah.
airy look, which is great. But you got to be then, which means it'll go fast.
I was gonna say, I think
But
I could handle
I
the
got a
9s.
month,
I
but-
think I could handle the 9s. It's me with the tiny lace and the tiny
Yeah,
needles.
yeah.
That to me, I'm so blind.
Well, I'm
that,
just afraid of really dropping something there,
Yeah.
So that, with it being big and lacy, you screw up, it's going to show.
Now,
So I
listen,
got to be really careful.
when
No,
here-
I just don't want to drag it here because I'm afraid I'll drop it. And
I
get
wouldn't.
needles and stuff.
I wouldn't
My
bring it
luck,
here.
I'd drop it in a mud puddle out in the parking
well,
lot.
and Ralphie will be like, "Let me take this for a new toy. This
I
is
know, I
great."
keep watching Maggie. No.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about, because I don't have Duke anymore. Duke loved alpaca. Loved alpaca. He was a Terrain Walker Coonhound. So the alpaca, the scent. And it was so funny. He never ever, now Maggie just drags yarn all over the place, but he would just roll on it. And people would come in.
Oh, we try to like rub
Yeah,
scent
my
on it.
friends
Yeah,
would
'cause
come in
dogs
to
are
knit,
creepy.
and they'd go, why is your dog in, like, all you could see is his butt hanging out, because he'd be into the
Knitting bag.
the knitting bag. And I'd go, you must have alpaca in there.
Yeah.
That's like the lady that the other day dropped off the pillows for me to do, because
Yeah.
she was from another community. So I said, I'll be at the shop, just drop them off. She wants me to recover these pillows. Well, I had to go pick up Maggie afterwards at the Bark Shack, and they were down.
Oh, she.
And I was like, oh,
goodness.
no. But she didn't bother. Duke would have been up over that back end and
Right
just
in.
like,
Let me rub myself on this.
ducks, you know, and it'd be like, oh dear. But
Well, listen, so I know there was one event that Judy had a million years ago that she got all bedazzled and bedecked for. And while she was super sassy and gorgeous, someone spilled tartar sauce all over the
oh
back
God,
of her.
that's such a long story.
So let's not do that with this tunic, okay? With all the gorgeousness. Let's just keep it tartar
make-
sauce free.
I can see we're at the wedding reception. Back off with that tray.
Do not get near me with any tartar sauce.
What is on that? I don't think. Yes, fish was an option.
Stay away from the fish table.
Yeah,
The fish
Gretchen was fish an option. I don't remember. I chose the chicken. So
Stay away. Keep her. You got to guard her and protect her. No tartar sauce.
no tartar sauce on my tunic.
How are we doing? What other projects do we got? So we've got our socks coming up. I know you were working on those. We talked about them next week. Next. A couple weeks from now. God, this month is flying by. My
Socks.
daughter's 16th birthday.
God, I
16th
still gotta
birthday
get
is
over to
next
Soba. I
weekend.
see her stuff too.
Oh my goodness. So here she is. I just think these are the absolute cutest. It makes me actually want to do socks, and I don't care for making socks, but look at how adorable these are. So I put kits together. Look at that. Just look at that. They're so cute. So I have a couple kits together. So if that's something that you're interested in, and you don't have to take the class. If you want to buy the kit, just give me a call so I have some time, because it does take a little while to measure all the yarn out. So it's a really, really cute pair of socks. So
yeah, they are. They're cute. They're going fast. I just haven't had time to work on it because I'm trying to do that.
Yeah.
So interesting discussion on Ravelry this morning.
Okay.
Yarn barf.
Yarn barf.
And it's the plural. It's the plural of barf bars. It's kind of started off. It started off as a good discussion.
Barfs.
Barf.
Barf. Yarn
Which is
barf.
yarn vomit.
Right. When the middle of your yarn just goes out of.
Well, and because you've always got someone there that's
It's a plural of barf.
That's what somebody asked. I cracked up. It was our time on Ravelry. Somebody asked a question and it was long and evolved, and I just started laughing because I kind of replied, I felt like I was in math class. If two knitters are on two separate train speed, and I just did it as a joke. I went back that afternoon and gone on for 10 pages. Everybody was adding to it. They were adding to it, like, oh yeah, and then the knit. Well, it depends. Is one knitter doing color work? Is another one doing brioche? That would depend on the time it takes, and it was just hysterical.
The answer is 12.
It was hysterical. So anyways, you get your diehards on there. That's like, you always pull it from the center. Always.
But you
No,
don't.
you don't.
It depends on what kind of knitter you are.
Yeah. All right. This is a really interesting discussion because your yarn has ply, how it's twisted together. And this was a really good little article I read. It was on Modern Daily Knitting. Taking it from the outside loosens your ply. So if you are a tight knitter, and I don't mean drunk, tight, you should knit from the outside because it loosens it.
That's
if
why
you
I
are
knit from the outside.
loose, because it's counterclockwise
Right.
or clockwise. So one of those, counterclockwise. If you are, a loose knitter or just a regular knitter, you should try and knit from the middle of the ball, because center pull, because it tightens as you go. Well, I always thought that was really interesting.
Yep.
Also, I read an article that told you how to find the center pull. You got that one? And that one doesn't have it. Oh, that one doesn't work. Oh,
Here,
come on.
Here, Dash.
Here we go. This one does.
Oh, that one, okay.
Okay. The label. Now, this always works, except Knit Picks, Wool, the Andes, they just screw with you. Somebody said, well, why is there always, this was really cute. Somebody said on Ravelry today, well, why is there always so much? Their point. They said, we think that what the mills do is they get it around until they have about this much left, and they give it to 5 kittens to play with. And the kittens go like this, and then they go, okay, that's good. And they
shove it in there.
Probably. Okay, look at the label. The label's going up and down. Try and find it from the top. And some people said stick your finger in and curl around. You can't do that with the hole because there's that thread in the middle.
Yeah.
And then you can pull it out. You'll still get some, but not as much. Same thing on this. This is so you would go from the top. And I had no trouble.
Why would you go from the top if it's going around like this?
Because the label was reading up and down.
Oh, gotcha. I thought you meant the
If
paper.
the label reads left to right, it's like long, like Maggie Loves Yarn. My
Okay.
labels go this
Yep.
way. Pull from the left side.
Really? The one
It works 90. I would say 90% of the time.
This is
it
the
works
yarn
for me.
I
have
can
very
never, ever find the center.
little. Oh well, that's just.
I can never
That's
find
just crazy.
the center of it.
Well, you know why?
So-
Because it's on like a plastic cone.
So like this paper thing, and I mean
Because
this
I'll
one,
tell
this
you
one
why.
you can actually see, but usually we're like, where
And
is
it
this?
doesn't come out good there.
Oh, we're like, where is
That's not the
this?
center. That's the outside. See, look right there.
Oh, okay. But usually in the center,
here's
I'm like,
why. Because there's a cardboard cone.
Yeah.
And it's just like fabric.
Yep.
They wrap it tight around that cone so it doesn't slip. So you'd have to really like dig through the cone to find it because it's wrapped really tightly. It's not just set down in loose.
yeah, and you're trying to dig
you
it
gotta
out.
use it
You're
from
trying
the
to,
outside.
yeah,
You
you're trying to
can't.
dig it out and you can't find it, and
can't.
then I
Wow.
feel like I've really spent far too long becoming intimate with this, and really we hadn't even gone to dinner or
now you
anything
know-
yet, and
now
that
you
is
know why you
inappropriate,
won't.
and it makes me uncomfortable in the workplace.
Well, see, now you know you won't because see, here's like the cone. They tuck it.
Yeah.
And then wrap it.
I know.
And so you'll never find
No.
it. Stop trying.
Okay, well,
So anyways,
Quitters.
there was a good discussion about yarn barf, and I love the description of the kittens.
So what?
They take
I mean,
it.
I just kind of wrap it back up and then hope for the best because you know, a lot of times it's just, I'm using the outside. When it kind of pukes its way out, I just kind of have its own ball of it.
You do, and then eventually you start getting the outside and the inside tangled together.
Yeah.
Just stop and wind it into a ball.
Right.
That's when if I'm not using the inside, eventually that'll happen. I'll just grab the inside and just wind it into a ball. You know, it's like takes 5 minutes, but it saves me 30 minutes of aggravation.
Yeah. Yeah, so you just at some point you just have to come to terms with the fact that you're going to need to wind this. So
yeah, it was an interesting discussion on Ravelry today. And then when somebody said, "Is the plural of barbs?" I just lost it.
Funny people, man. We need them in the world. We appreciate you. Thank you for being funny. So
that happened the other day for me. It was on Facebook about all of a sudden people just take off on your comment.
Yeah.
You know? There was this woman, and it's in the Fair Isle and Colorwork group, which is like, oh my God, this stuff is gorgeous. And there's people all over the world.
Oh, I'm sure.
So you don't always understand. So this woman had posted a picture of her hat that she had done, and it's on probably about a 3 or 4 month old little baby grandson. And he was adorable. And I simply posted, I don't know which is cuter, that hat or that adorable little munchkin. That's all I said. People went nuts over the word munchkin. Everybody was liking it and loving it. And finally, some lady with a very Scandinavian name went, I learned a new word today.
Aww.
Munchkin.
Aww.
And I went, really? You never watched The Wizard of Oz? We're back to The Wizard of Oz. People act like they've never heard the word munchkin before.
Yeah, well,
maybe it's a donut hole or something in Europe. I don't know. I said, I just said, that
little munchkin.
That adorable little munchkin. And she's like, I love that term. I learned a new word today.
See, that's what we're doing.
Munchkin?
Language, man, it's so
munchkin
fluid.
Munchkin a new word for you? It was really funny. I mean, nobody said, how dare you call that child a munchkin? But everybody's like, oh, I love it. Yeah. That is so cute.
It is. And it's a cute word. It's a cute, I'm all about words.
You
so
call
it's a cute
muffin.
Munchkins. I call everyone muffin.
I started doing that. And Mom looks at me like, somebody bake?
I'm a muffin. Well, so here everyone was ladybugs when I first started teaching because I taught littles and they were all ladybugs. And then I embarrassingly got schooled by one of my native speakers when I was teaching in California because when you call someone a ladybug, it's kind of a defamatory way to say someone's homosexual. And I was like, oh, well, I didn't know that, and then I stopped that immediately because so mariquita is kind of like a derogatory term in, at least he had told me, and he was from Mexico, so I immediately stopped that because clearly that was not my intent. I just thought it was ladybugs are just so cute. But anyway, so yeah,
cute little homosexual.
I was horrified. I was like, oh my God. I was like that. And he goes, we know. I'm like, oh my God, because he's like, I just think you should know Winslow. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And they all laughed at my expense because they like to do that. But so muffins became
what child doesn't?
Yeah, well, I mean that's especially high school students. They love that. They're like, haha, Winslow. But so that one ended. I went to muffin because really, I mean, you can't be offended by muffin
or munchkin, I guess.
Or munchkin. I munchkin, you guess either. Except my husband seems to be very offended by the jelly-filled munchkins, and I love them. So I don't know what the problem is.
Gordon loves jelly-filled donuts.
Yeah, I don't love jelly-filled donuts. I just like jelly-filled munchkins. Well, there's too much jelly in the jelly-filled donuts.
Gordon one time when Mike was about 3 or 4, bought a whole dozen, brought him home on a Friday night. And these were going to be his for the whole weekend because none of us ate. Just can't wait. I got a whole dozen jelly-filled donuts. I'm going to eat them all weekend. I don't care. So he goes out about 10 o'clock. The boys are in bed. They get one. And he picks it up. There's no jelly in it. So he picks up another one. There's no jelly in it. He turns them all over. Mike had and suck the jelly out of every single one and put them back in.
What a jerk.
Put them back in the box of donuts for him. I kind of liked it. That was a little something extra in his allowance.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, no, my littles would poke them. And then one time they came out with like all in the hands, like, olives, you put them on fingers.
Oh, and that's how you eat black olives.
That's how you eat jelly-filled donuts, apparently, too, when they were little. And, it's gross.
And bugles.
So you wanted me, yes, bugles, too. You wanted me to mention thwacking. Now, thwacking is a great word. What exactly is thwacking?
You will love this. Okay, so when I dye my yarn, I put it on a hanger like this, okay?
Oh, so pretty.
I know. Look at that. Okay.
Hurricane
So
warning.
when you're
We have one in now.
sometimes
Come
when
get
you
it.
get ready to do your, to wind it, see how it gets a little lumpy right there?
Yes.
Okay. And you want to straighten that out. I learned this from a lady on YouTube. It's great. Okay, you ready?
I don't know, am I? And anytime Judy says, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Do I need a helmet?"
So you see that? That's going to be hard to wind.
Yeah.
So you take it and you pull it down and you
Oh my God! You actually.
you thwack it. Look at it.
Oh my God!
And you just do it all the way around. Thwack it. She did it on her hand, but I do it on the chair. Look at it.
Oh my God!
Look at it now.
Oh my God! Wow, that's pretty amazing. I'm gonna have to try that with that skein you and Nancy.
I just hit it a couple times, and you go like this,
Thwacking.
and look how it straights it out. It's called thwacking.
I love that.
Is that not neat?
That is great.
That is my tip for you today.
Thwack.
Thwack.
Thwack it, baby. Thwack
The
it.
word for today. Your word.
Your new word is thwack.
I'm going to do that when you're running.
Judy behind me with the towel.
Says, your new word is
Thwack. Don't make me thwack
So
you.
that's thwacking. Isn't that neat?
I love it. Thwack. That's a fun word anyway.
I
So
know.
speaking of fun words,
Fun books.
Judy found this fun book, and I'm all about. I love books because I'm a giant
I know,
nerd
me
anyway.
too.
I'm a
That's the
giant nerd.
problem.
When we moved from Massachusetts to California, I kid you not, I donated over 1,000 books. I kid you not. So,
I was the type of person in the summer, because I read all summer long,
Yep.
that if I was reading one book, if I didn't have at least 4 stacked,
yeah, ready to go.
ready to go,
Right.
I panicked.
Right.
This is why in retirement I went to the ebooks because
'Cause
my
I
husband
couldn't keep.
appreciates.
Well, yeah.
So then what does he get into? Book selling. And so he has, I know, on eBay. So now he has all these books and bookcases, and I'm like, fine, then I'm ordering whatever knitting book I want.
So my daughter cracks me up. Okay, so she got a book from my oldest. So Lena's my oldest daughter. Emmeline's my youngest daughter, and Emmeline's she's just as bawdy and like off the chain as you can imagine. She makes us laugh
It's
constantly.
so good that she and Mike were not the same age. They would have been married by now.
She makes us laugh so hard because the stuff she comes up with. So she is like a boy at times because she just loves farts. She just thinks farts are hilarious.
So did Mike.
So funny, so funny. Lena and I are just like, okay, that's great. Could you keep that over there? We don't need to be hearing about that. So Lena for Valentine's Day got her something about like Harvey who had too many farts or some book like this. She goes, oh my God, there's a whole series of these books, Mom. And I'm like, oh, yay. I am so glad there's a whole series of Harvey the farting heart or something. And she goes, if only, okay, I want to get them. And if there was a way to display them, like where we put them all out. And I'm like, honey, that's a bookshelf. She goes,
And wouldn't it be neat if there was a place you
You
could go
just
and like check them out
put them,
and read them
and
and
you
put them
can
back?
have them. I'm like, I said,
Well, see,
the things in your room aren't actually just to put old, cans.
This is an actual screenshot that somebody got from Amazon, and I said, I'm so glad that we did not have Amazon Prime
Oh God.
when my kids were growing up. And I sent this to my sons, and I said, this is why we didn't have Amazon Prime when you wrote. It says, hi, hello, I'm Michaela from customer service. I understand your child has accidentally placed an order and you wish to cancel the order with refund. I can help you with that. Great, thank you. Just to confirm, are you referring to the Extreme Farts extension pack? Yes, that's the one.
That would be our house. Like I come in and the songs that are playing. There's apparently a fart song. I mean, it's not apparently. I know of it. I probably
I
could
know.
sing the fart song for you because it's really
Yeah,
just.
and Chris, who's 37, says, and what makes you think we still won't unleash this at some point?
Right.
And I said, your son might, 8-year-old Hunter. And he goes, well, he is an extreme fart extension pack.
Yeah. So we have that to look forward to.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
can't imagine. I can't imagine these
I
fools.
yelled at Mike one time because it's like, what did I tell you about logging off the computer? Blah, blah, blah. He goes, how do you know it was me? I went, well, I wasn't on the site ratemyboobs.com. And he goes, oh.
Caught. Oops. Anyway, we've digressed. We found this. I can't take any credit for this. This is all Judy. She found this absolutely gorgeous book. It's called 10 Years in the
We're
Making.
going to try and get it in the shop because Tracy can order anything.
It's yes, it's by Kate Davies. I did reach out to her to see if she would work with us to see if we could sell it. They're just gorgeous. These sweaters,
Gorgeous
the
color work.
pattern.
Everybody went nuts last night over it.
Here is I just pulled a picture, but and it's just this beautiful. It's nice. The cover's nice and soft, and just absolutely gorgeous pictures.
She lives in Scotland, I think.
Yeah, that would make sense. Kate
So when I
Davies.
bought the book, it said download. So I thought I bought the ebook.
Right.
So I downloaded it last Saturday. Yeah, no, a couple Saturdays ago. And so then a couple days later, you know, I went to the site and I went, oh, cool. She's got yarn. She's got all this stuff. I get the site about, it's on the way. And I went,
Oh, God.
do I order something? But then they send you the hardback,
Yeah, and
too.
it's beautiful.
But they let you download it so you can get started right away, which I almost did. And then I went, wait.
Hold on. So here is, you know, I just opened random pages. So here, it's gorgeous. This is a gorgeous cowl.
Where's the sock?
It's a gorgeous cowl. But you know what? Here's the thing. With those that just come down like to about here, like a capelet, just makes me want to.
Well, she's the one that
do
did
this
the
the whole
wonderful
time.
owl.
Oh, I love that owl. It's towards the end. I do want to make this owl. I have saved this forever. However long ago I found it in Ravelry.
Yeah, she's
with the
the
little
one that did
buttons
the owl.
across the cowl area. I mean the you know what I mean. But look at. Oh my God, I want to make this so
But I want to
badly.
be the one that's on the cover.
Yeah, and here's
You
the
know
one
me
that's
in colors.
Yeah, I do. You and your color
Let's see if I
work.
can find the socks.
So,
The socks.
just
She
beautiful.
also did the famous Carbeth one that everybody, the cardigan.
Yep. So these socks, or what should you call them, slippers, I believe is what.
Well, yeah.
They're little slippers. They're beautiful. I bet to me it just is daunting with all this color
no.
work and
well,
pattern.
you know what?
and-
I'm not sure I would do
and
the color work on the sole because nobody sees it anyways.
If you put your feet up and you rest, they do.
Well, mine say, bring me, if you can read this, bring me another glass of water.
Right. I'm counting. So look at how pretty these are. And
Look at
then
the Latvian braid. You know, people are so afraid of Latvian braid, and it's so easy.
look at these heels. Oh my
we
goodness.
would have to do those heels.
Aren't they so gorgeous? Like they are beautiful.
So that might be one in the fall. If she can get the book in, we're going to do that in the fall because that would be a perfect.
Slipper Christmas gift.
Yeah,
Holiday
your feet get
gift.
cold.
But yeah, look at the Latvian braid. Oh my gosh, yes. So
I was so scared the first time I tried Latvian braid, and it is so easy.
it just looks daunting though.
No, it's very, very easy. And I was like, that's it? That's it? Surely there's got to be another step there. I went, no, that's all you had to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, Norma texted me, goes, I thought the same thing with Latvian braid. I went, yeah, that's so cool. I like that hat.
Yeah, she's got a lot of really
See,
cute
when you
things
get the
in there.
manos.
Yes, with that
with
stripes.
the
That'll be
pack. We'll do
fun.
the
That'll be fun.
hat. And
We'll
she
have to do
said the
something in the
sweet
fall where we can do like a like a holiday theme where we're starting to work together to come up with projects or
Yeah,
things.
because you're over your chaos of the first year.
Yep.
LYS Day.
Yes, so I say little yarn shop, but it's of course because I'm a little yarn shop, but it's local yarn store day. It's coming up the end of April. So we're like 72, 73. I put it on my website.
Yeah,
How many
73
countdown?
days. Is it the last weekend in April?
It is. I think
Oh,
it's the 20.
dear God,
I want to
won't
say
be
the
here.
29. What?
That's when we're in Mississippi for the baseball
We're not
game.
supposed to have a life. Stop.
I know, I only travel like once a year, and apparently it's all once
April.
Twice a year.
Yours
It's
is all April this year. Yes. So it's like you're doing a world tour for my birthday. So
I'm going to Birmingham at the beginning of
I know,
April
I know.
and Mississippi at the end of the year.
All right,
We're
all right.
going to see, we like college baseball. And I don't like baseball. I don't like pro baseball. I think baseball is the most boring game, but I like college baseball. It's fun. It is so much fun. It is so Americana.
you got so sucked into the Southern. Everything is so college fun and
I know,
focused,
it
and
is.
it's so much fun here.
And it is. It's just fun. And so I got him tickets to go see the Ole Miss Georgia baseball game.
Was Old now? I know we've talked about this, but I have no brain cells that actually function any longer. Was Old Miss the one that got into the baseball World Series that you were watching and then missed it?
Yeah.
Okay, so
The year before that, it was Mississippi State, and we really liked Mississippi State. And this year it was Ole Miss, and we were watching it, so we were rooting for them because Mississippi State, when they won, had never won a national championship in
Oh,
anything.
that's fun.
And it was the same thing with Ole Miss. So
That's
we're
fun.
watching it. We can't wait. We watched it every evening. The final game in the World Series, they were either going to win or not. We all planned it all day on Saturday. We went and got our ribs. We got everything. And about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm reading them going, they're showing the score of the game. And here it had come on at 2, not 7 like it had every other night. And we totally missed it. And I texted my friend who was watching. She goes, well, yeah, we watched it. And I went, well, why didn't you text me? And so Gordon and I said, we're not worthy. We're so not worthy of being Southern fans. Not worthy. We were so embarrassed.
We missed the
we've
whole
been talking it up. Well, you should watch this. It's so much fun. The college football World Series is in Omaha, Nebraska. And it is so much fun
the college
to
football
watch.
World Series or baseball?
No, baseball. I'm
Okay.
sorry. and it is so much fun, and it's just Americana. Everybody is so sweet, And the signs, there's no nasty signs. You hit a ball in the stands, they find a kid to give it to.
Oh, that's
they
nice.
get little kids to be ball boys or whatever, and girls. And the announcers
Ball munchkins.
are hysterical. They are so funny, and they have a crew of cameramen, and they find some little drama that's going on in the stands with kids or something, and they watch it, and then the announcers, and it's hysterical. We were watching this one, and it was a really hot day, and you know what happened? The kid said, "Can I have a sip of your water? Can I have a sip?" So Dad said, "Fine, just a sip." And they get the kid, and the kid's going, and he's just drinking it, and Dad's just... And the kid gets done, and there's like just backwash in it. And he hands it back to the dad, and the dad's looking at him, and the kid goes... And it's like, they find stuff like that. And it's so cool. And 2 years ago, the guy was there, and he had pancreatic cancer, and he was doing well. He was in remission.
Good.
And so he had not seen his son play in like 3 years.
Aww.
And his son hit a home run.
Oh, that's so great.
They passed that ball all the way around until he
great.
got it.
That's great.
You know, it was like,
That's great.
oh, it's so sweet.
Yeah.
It's just fun.
That's
it's
great.
fun to watch. The announcers are fun. We tried to get tickets. I think they're sold out for the next 7 years.
Oh, I'm sure.
But my nephew, well, it's not really my nephew. It's my son's and daughter-in-law's nephew on her side. But we've known Beezy. We call him Beezy since he was 3. Beezy's going to be a freshman in high school next year. Last summer, because he played baseball from like April to October, because he played fall ball too. He hit over 35 home runs.
Wow.
They would not even, in games, they
Yes,
would not even pitch to him. They would just automatically
Walk him.
So I said, 4 years, I'm going to give you 4. Okay, so you can graduate high school. I want tickets to the World Series, because you're going to be there, kiddo. You are going to get...
Putting it out there now.
You are going to get offered and take it. Get to college and take it, and then get me tickets.
Right, and that's
He's like, I'm not even related to you. I don't
Doesn't
care.
matter. I'm putting in my request now, okay?
I took you to the movies with my grandkids.
Remember where you came from.
And you sat on my lap.
You're still Jenny from the block, okay?
So I truly expect, his mom is the one that did the sweatshirts for us.
Oh, okay, wonderful. So, all right, April,
family.
You're gone. So I have to find a new friend. Is what you're saying for
I'm
April?
so sorry.
I know you have this whole life
I got a whole
going
list of
on.
people
My
you can ask.
God. We're good. I get, So, oh goodness.
I've been in one of those moods.
It's been a cheeky
My
little.
husband was trying to cook
cheeky
breakfast.
little
Well,
week.
I was trying to make my coffee this morning. And he goes, well, you were at the sink. I went, can I do everything from the sink? I need the microwave. I need the refrigerator. Get out of my way. He goes, but my eggs. I said, fine.
Well, you'll be able to tell over the next few weeks how much warmer and more humid it gets by my hair. See, it's sort
I
of
thought you
getting
meant you were going to wear less and less.
that too. We're gonna be
Again,
not
with
safe,
just, the tube
not
top.
safe for work. Talking about yarn, yeah. But no, my hair will get bigger and bigger, and at some point, I just have to give up and put it all in a bun because I just.
Just 5 minutes.
Can't. I
5
settle
minutes
down,
and I'll take
Ralphie.
you for a walk.
I just took the dog literally for a 45-minute walk before the show.
I took him last couple Fridays ago. I took him out, and then I came back in, and I get this frantic call from Tracy. I've lost my mind. I know I had poop bags. I cannot find the poop bags. Do you remember seeing the poop bags? I went, I'm all the way home in the car. I do. Well, where are they? In my pocket. I forgot to take them out of my pocket.
I feel like I've lost my mind half the time. I've got so many things going on that my brain's always scattered. So even when I'm talking to people, my brain's in 20 different places. So I don't remember anything. And like COVID, I'm a long hauler. I still have terrible brain fog. And I'm old and it's just going away. So I'm like, oh my God, where did I put these? And I just need something. Like even today, I was trying to sweep something up and I couldn't find the dustpan. And I was like, girls, does anyone see where the dustpan is? And Emmeline goes, well, I certainly didn't use it.
Well, we know that, Emmeline. That's a given.
So anyway, we have already made it through our hour, and thank you for
fun today.
Yeah, thank you for sticking with us. Hopefully, you've had some fun and enjoyed, a little bit of Friday lightness at our expense, or not, either one. But keep us posted on what you're working on, and let me know if you have any projects that you want to work on, or what you think of some, or what we should order from Manos.
If there's a color you like, let us know.
Yeah, so I'm trying to
Right
keep
now,
my
they're just showing
palette.
blues and greens, and I'm trying to hold her back.
I know, because blues and greens are my baby. But yeah, so we're trying to find stuff to add to the palette here. So if there's something that you are dying to order or
It's just a
can't live
beautiful
without,
shop when you walk in.
Come
All
in
the
and visit.
colors and
Come
all
in
the
and
yarn,
visit.
because she's very good at, straight. It's like, am I
I'm a
allowed to
little,
touch it?
I'm a little
Sure.
OCD. It is what it is.
Yeah, Janet was here last week, and she's like, when I leave, I do not want you to, because she was trying to pick out colors last Saturday. When I leave, I do not want to hear how you talked about me and how I didn't put the yarn back in the right place. I went, okay.
I always know. Anyway, have a fabulous week. Thank you so much for joining us. If you like what you see, make sure you share it and subscribe so that you're the first to see our craziness here. And if you're in the South Carolina region, make sure you stop by Low Country Shrimp and Knits, or check us out online at shrimpandknits.com.
Come visit us.